Over the years, GLEE has surely made a name for itself. It was a wild ride, from the drama on the set to messy relationships and rumors that made headlines every week. But what part of it was actually true? Well, it seems like it was even worse in real life. GLEE is essentially a show about high school drama with a lot of covers that later became a pop culture staple that people recall until now, over a decade after the first episode aired back in 2009. But the name GLEE is surrounded by endless drama, behind-the-scenes messiness, and relationships between stars that truly make the dramatic catchphrase, "And that's what you missed on GLEE," very accurate. There always seemed to be some curse surrounding GLEE since the rumors about the show were there from the jump start. Even from the very beginning, people were raising their eyebrows when they found out about Chris Colfer's role was written just for him. While these things do happen in the industry, they still made some people question Ryan Murphy's actions. The showrunners watched Chris's audition for Artie, and while he didn't get that role, they fell so in love with the actor that they knew they couldn't fumble the bag by letting him go. The writers wrote a role for him in the show, a character that we now know as the iconic Kurt Hummel. Was Ryan Murphy already showing favoritism before the show even started filming? The whole show is actually way more problematic than we remember. At that time, having a gay couple and a lesbian couple in the show was considered a very progressive thing, even though it was the fans that had to campaign for Santana and Britney to become canon in the show. GLEE truly was just full of problematic stuff that people just let slide. For example, Finn calls out Santana for not coming out in public. Multiple characters make gay and disabled people the butt of the jokes. Teen drinking that led to teen pregnancy, and so on. But that isn't why GLEE became so talked about in the media. Things truly got wild after the show started airing, since the rumors about the cast started swarming in the media. A rumor about Lea Michele and Naya Rivera hating each other was a persistent headline in the tabloids for years to come. Their characters were constantly swinging between drama and belting out high notes, and apparently the actresses weren't so different from their on-screen personas. Or at least their relationship wasn't. The two started as friends, but eventually their off-screen dynamic kept falling apart as the show's spotlight focused on Naya's character, Santana. Naya shared that she thinks Lea didn't like the idea of sharing the spotlight and took it too personally. At first, the girls denied any bad blood between them. However, that would change as the show went on. Naya shared, "Lea was a lot more sensitive though, and sometimes it seemed like she blamed me for anything and everything that went wrong." This, combined with Lea often storming from the set, caused the duo not to speak to each other for the entirety of the filming of season 6. Lea Michele's reputation was sort of all over the place since the rumors about her not being the nicest person to work with really stuck. According to these rumors, she was unbearable and often put down those around her. Her co-star Samantha Ware, who played Jane Hayward, exposed Lea for her coldness towards the newcomer on the show. Samantha revealed, "It was after I did my first performance, that's when it started. The silent treatment, the stare downs, the looks, the comments under her breath, the weird passive aggressiveness. Other than unnecessary comments, Lea actually threatened to fire Samantha from the show after Lea thought Samantha was disrespectful to her. It got to the point where Lea said that she would call Ryan Murphy and make him come to the set so he can personally fire Samantha." However, it's clear from Samantha's words that this wasn't the first rodeo Lea caused on the set. Samantha also shared, "I remember the first day I actually spoke up, and unfortunately no one did anything. They just shrugged it off like, that's her." The public expose escalated when in June 2020, Samantha responded to Lea's tweet about the Black Lives Matter movement. The actress said in a now deleted tweet, "Remember when you made my first television gig a living hell? 'Cause I'll never forget." Samantha's reply caused an avalanche of people to come forward and share their negative experiences with Lea Michele. The stories varied from screaming matches to even threats, just like those that Samantha experienced. A former Broadway actor that used to work with Lea in the 90s said she demeaned the crew and threatened to have people fired if she was in any way displeased. She was 12. She was terrifying. Even other actors from the show, like Heather Morris, who played Britney, shared that Lea was unpleasant to work with and that she wishes the cast would have done something about it in the past, like speaking up. All of this backlash then led to Lea apologizing in an Instagram post. There's a reason why Lea acts the way she does, and she tries to reason her actions on the set of GLEE by explaining, "I have an edge to me. I work really hard. I leave no room for mistakes. That level of perfectionism, or that pressure of perfectionism, left me with a lot of blind spots." Still, that doesn't apologize for her rude behavior on the set. But Lea's attitude wasn't the only source of drama on set. There were the relationships. Ryan Murphy, the creator of the show, once said, "There was a lot of infighting. There was a lot of people sleeping together and breaking up. It was good training for being a parent, I'll tell you that much." Naya Rivera once commented that the cast would often bed hop. One of the messiest relationships on the set was hers with Mark Salling, who played Puck on the show. Their romance started in 2009 during the filming of the show, and they continued dating for 3 years. However, the relationship was worse than anyone could have predicted. The actress described the relationship as full of fights, as the two couldn't agree on just about anything. The biggest red flag was that despite being in a committed relationship, they never made their relationship public. Mark Salling's publicist kept highlighting how important it is to keep the image of a single heartthrob. Naya speculated in her 2016 book that it wasn't as much for his image as it was for his freedom to meet up with other women. Their relationship ended when Naya found out that Mark was cheating on her, and he didn't walk out of this unscathed. As an act of revenge, Naya covered his car with eggs, dog food, Coca-Cola, and a birdseed. Mark broke things off with her, apparently at the request of his publicist, as Naya wasn't good for his image. Looking back, she revealed that Mark is the only ex she ever regretted dating in the first place. Since Mark got tangled into some pretty serious illegal stuff later, Naya was happy that she wasn't tied to him anymore. Naya and Mark weren't the only relationship on the set. The sweethearts of the GLEE cast were Lea Michele and Corey Monteith, who played Rachel Berry and Finn Hudson respectively. The two met on the GLEE set but didn't start dating until 2012 and had a fairy tale-like relationship until 2013. Lea described how serious their relationship was, fondly recalling, "We talked about children and what we would look like when we grow old and who would be fat and how we would stay thin. We talked about where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. We were done. We were it." All of their future plans came to a halt in June 2013 when Corey Monteith was found unresponsive in a hotel room after taking too much of certain substances. The shock and grief have taken over GLEE and the show's fans. Behind closed doors, Corey had been fighting his demons since he became familiar with illegal substances back when he was a teenager. Instead of rehab, his role started getting bigger, and he became a sensation that just couldn't push his career aside. The rehab wasn't helping, and Corey eventually lost his battle. Lea shared that she had only happy memories of Corey and that he always made her feel like a queen. To this day, the actress honors him with a post on social media each year on the anniversary of his passing. Sadly, this wasn't the only tragedy that was tied to GLEE. The assistant director Jim Fuller passed away just 3 months after Corey. A few months after that, the production assistant on the show, Nancy Moats, was found unresponsive in her hotel room. Later, in 2014, Becca Tobin, who played Kitty, discovered her long-term boyfriend passed away due to a heart attack, which took a huge toll on her and the fans of the couple. Unfortunately, that wasn't it, and the so-called GLEE curse continued. Mark Salling passed away in January 2018. They found his body after he took his own life near his residence. Mark was just 3 months away from the starting of his sentence. The actor was arrested back in 2016 for having over 50,000 explicit images of children on his computer and drive. He was supposed to be registered as a threat based on his past actions, to pay restitution and relocate later. On top of that, he was sentenced to 4 to 7 years in jail. The latest tragedy that struck the GLEE family was the news of Naya Rivera drowning in June 2020. She went on a boat trip with her son, and while she saved him, she couldn't save her own life. This was another devastating piece of information for the cast and the fans of the show alike. The cast members reunited after a long time to mourn her passing together. Chris Colfer, who played Kurt on the show, posted a long post remembering her, ending with words, "She inspired and uplifted people without even trying. Being close to her was both a badge of honor and a suit of armor. Naya was truly one of a kind, and she always will be." Have you ever watched GLEE? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.